We begin tonight with an officer-involved shooting that unfolded in Fort Pierce over the weekend. Officers say they're still trying to unravel what exactly led to 3 people being killed and 1 in critical condition.
One of those victims we've just learned, an employee at the Fort Pierce Police Department, as we're now learning also the names of the victims.
CBS 12's Victoria Cardenas joins us now with those new details.
The Fort Pierce Police Department says Saturday morning shooting is complex and multifaceted. And even though this all happened within a 4-block radius, what transpired in 30 minutes will take hours to solve.
We have no motive behind the case. At this particular juncture, we have no motive.
Fort Pierce police are still trying to make sense of what happened over the weekend. Major Michael Santiago said this all started shortly after 11 a.m. when officers responded to 2 911 calls. One call was for a car theft on the 2100 block of Avenue N. The other was for a gunshot wound at the 1400 block of 23rd Street. When officers arrived on scene, they were tending to the man suffering from a gunshot wound when they heard more gunfire down the road.
They hear another volley of shots further west. They continue advancing where they ultimately encountered an armed subject at the 1600 block of North 25th Street.
That man was later identified as 28-year-old Bernard Smith. Police and Smith exchanged gunfire, which resulted in Smith's death. Police say he had a violent criminal past. As police were securing the scene, they were made aware of 2 other gunshot victims who were found dead inside separate homes. The family of one of the victims spoke with CBS 12 News, but did not want to go on camera. They identified him as Roosevelt Kent Benjamin. He was a husband, father, and U.S. postal worker who also happened to be deaf.
What we're looking at right now is trying to determine if all these incidents are connected. Right now, what we can definitively say is that that car theft was connected to the officer-involved shooting. We know that that was the same subject of the car theft, but right now we're trying to determine if the other incidents are in fact involved.
And moments before we went on air, we finally learned the identities of the victims in this shooting. The Fort Pierce Police Department says 24-year-old Devin Bradley and 59-year-old Roosevelt Benjamin were found dead in their homes. That third victim, 50-year-old Craig Robinson, remains a patient at HCA Florida Lawnwood Hospital. All 3 of them are from Fort Pierce. Now, so far, 3 police officers with the Fort Pierce Police Department are on paid administrative leave as the Florida Department of Law Enforcement investigates this officer-involved shooting. The Fort Pierce Police Department will investigate the rest of what led up to the shooting. Reporting in Fort Pierce, Victoria Cardenas, CBS 12 News.
And the city of Fort Pierce is responding to the shooting. They gave us a statement today. It reads in part, "We're deeply saddened by the tragic shooting that took place this past weekend, resulting in the loss of several precious lives. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims, their families, and everyone affected by this senseless act of violence." I'm Jim Grimes. Click like and subscribe buttons if you want to see more stories like this that impact you.